The Biden administration announced new sanctions against a number of members of the Sinaloa cartel. According to the White House, the move was made to disrupt the global fentanyl supply chain. It follows other sanctions the administration has brought on drug cartels over the past few years. The sanctions come as political tensions between the U.S. and Mexico have been rising. Some U.S. lawmakers, particularly from the GOP, have harshly criticized Mexican President Andrés Manuel López Obrador.
Under the Biden administration and the López Obrador administration in Mexico, 3 years and going, the relationship between the two countries has been at a low point. They are also very frustrated with Mexico because the Mexican government doesn't seem to even acknowledge that there is a problem. In fact, the López Obrador administration denied several times that Mexico even produced fentanyl or that Mexico was even used as a transit point for such drugs.
In October, the Wall Street Journal reported that according to members in the Sinaloa cartel, a top exporter of fentanyl, the group has tried prohibiting its production and trafficking after the increased pressure from U.S. law enforcement. But with frustrations reaching a breaking point on Capitol Hill, some lawmakers have called for more extreme measures. In the spring, some GOP senators called for military action by the U.S. against the cartels.
I think John and I believe that if there were an ISIS or Al-Qaeda cell in Mexico that lobbed a rocket into Texas, we'd wipe them off the planet. They're doing that times thousands.
And the Mexican president rebuked the idea.
Nosotros no vamos a permitir.
These criminal networks are deeply embedded in politics and institutions, partly in civilian populations and illicit economies. There's no way of dismantling that just by applying more force. Where this approach could become more effective is white-collar operatives, i.e. money launderers, political allies of criminal groups that sit within institutions, within security institutions, including the military, and really provide continued impunity for these groups to continue killing each other and killing civilians on the grounds.
Adding to the breakdown in relations is that cartels have long been well-armed with mostly American-made and trafficked weapons, a talking point President López Obrador has often repeated. An ATF analysis looked at seizures between 2017 and 2021 and found an estimated 70% of guns used by cartels were manufactured in America. An analysis of data from the Mexican government looked at only weapons recovered by the Mexican military. The researchers found U.S. companies made up 7 of the top 10 manufacturers, though the analysis admitted half of the weapons had no identifiable manufacturer marks left. The Mexican government has brought lawsuits against U.S. gun manufacturers in Massachusetts and Arizona federal courts. Some observers have argued the suits may be legal long shots, but they symbolically send a message to the U.S.
I think what the two countries need to do is to set a basic set of principles upon which they will collaborate. And if you don't do it that way, if you don't take a look at the whole chain and you don't address every single link along the way, then we're up for a very failed strategy in the future.
The U.S. and Mexican governments both face challenges: increased demand for narcotics in the U.S., increased supply of fentanyl in Mexico, and well-armed cartels so embedded in communities that simple military action will likely not be enough to win the war on drugs. For a sign of change, all eyes will be on the 2 presidential elections in 2024, both in the U.S. and in its largest trading partner to the south. Lauren Magarino, Scripps News.